As of July 8th, I've drawn for about 2 years, and I wanted to make a video just recapping everything and showing what I learned and what I did to get to this point. I first started off with a really cheap tablet called the Deco V2 by XP Pen. It was this tablet that my dad bought. I started out digitally, never traditionally, which is interesting because most people I know start out traditionally. I don't really know what got me to draw. It was more of like a weird urge to do it, sort of an addiction. I didn't really have anything to do over the summer, so I was like, I should pick up a hobby. The first month I spent watching Ori Days, specifically all his tutorials on facial structure, shading, anatomy, etc. But I really didn't do any studies. All I did was make pieces, and I spent like 16-20 hours just trying to like make it look good and try to at least make it like up to a certain par. But yeah, I didn't really like these. Around this time I got addicted to tppo, a YouTuber, and his videos, like his art studies, his copy style studies. I really liked how he analyzed each artist's different techniques and what certain tools they used and like certain little tips and tricks they had in mind. I really liked the artists that he introduced to me, such as Rolua and Yone Yamamai, and I really tried to implement this sort of interesting techniques into my own style. I also watched a lot of speed paints and specifically learning how other artists render in color, specifically just Rolua speed paints and lives, Yone Yamamai, and watching her render and sketch and paint and stuff. And I was just copying along, trying to figure out like how they did certain things, trying to copy their style aspect, how they rendered, and etc. So I started rendering over the sketch. Before I used to always just do line art and then just render with the line art. I also started drawing for people. I made a Google form and people would sign it and just like drew stuff for them for free. And that's how my Instagram account started. I thought it'd be fun just to like see people's reactions and stuff. But yeah, it was an interesting experience. I made like $30, so I also feel like my sense of rendering and color improved significantly compared to before, because I definitely started like paying more attention to the details and like sort of just the colors, getting inspired by other people and artists. After I stopped drawing for other people, I sort of fell into a slump where I just drew my own characters, but the quality wasn't as good, and I feel like I definitely just lost a lot of my skill. Around this time I started doing the 100 days thing. I just started practicing anatomy, perspective, not like too much, just maybe like at least 30 minutes a day. I also read some books that were recommended by a channel called 10,000 Hours, which I think was really helpful for learning anatomy, perspective. It really helped me like grasp these concepts more, because he recommended books that really just were chock full of knowledge. Color, rendering, etc. was great. So then I just drew every single day for like 8 hours. But yeah, and I mixed in a little bit of practice here and there. I really just wanted to get good at drawing backgrounds, so every single piece I would draw just had a background in it for fun. Except when it was like headshots or half bodies, because it was just kind of annoying to draw. But yeah, I kind of like these pieces, honestly. Like, I think some of the best and some of the worst came out of the 100 days, and honestly I learned so much from just drawing backgrounds every single day. It was just an experience. This was my favorite one that I drew out of the 100 days. It was based off this song by N called Wonder Room 2.0, and I really liked the song, so I decided to like draw it for fun, and then I posted it online and they reposted it, which was really cool, and they were really happy about it, which was like kind of heartwarming. I also experimented a lot with like just trying out other artists' styles, how they do their art, how they render, what they do after they finish a piece, rendering techniques and whatnot. I've noticed that a lot of people like to use either very saturated colors or very desaturated colors to create a more very colorful and lively look, which I do sometimes. I also tried out grayscale, a lot of interesting blend modes like add and multiply, which I don't really use that often, but it's like pretty decent, not gonna lie. Also ambient occlusion, commission phase. So I think after a while, I really liked drawing for other people, so I decided to open commissions for some reason, which might have been a bit of a mistake because I feel like my art style wasn't really developed all the way. So I really stalled on the studying part and just drew for fun. But my art got really detailed. Like, I think the aspect was just I didn't want my clients, the people that I drew for, to like see mediocre art. So I think after a while, the amount of time I spent on a piece just like tripled and doubled. I went from taking about like 8 to 6 hours on a piece to 34 to 50 hours. And sometimes it would take like a whole month or 2 months to just get them the commissions, which might have been pretty bad, but they were pretty patient and really nice about it, which is what I like about the art community. I really don't know why I opened commissions though, but honestly, I learned a lot from just like drawing backgrounds so detailed. I spent like so long on every single drawing to the point just like it looked amazing afterward. I also feel like I prioritized rendering and coloring more, and also composition wise, because I spent a long time just thinking, oh, how do I piece this together? How do I make it look good? How do I combine all of these aspects together to make it function as a whole? And I think it really helped me in just realizing how difficult composition is in general and how to make a piece actually look good. This is me just answering some questions. Do you know any good YouTube tutorials recommendations for rendering? Yeah, I do have a couple of good recommendations for rendering. The thing that helped me the most was Mogoon speed paints, because he has a way of rendering that has a lot of detail packed into it per se. He has a very realistic style and I feel like it's very intuitive, very interesting. He also has like some videos where he shows how he composes everything if you watch his Photoshop lives and stuff. Also, I think just watching people just draw on their lives is really helpful. But if you want like some of the best rendering tutorials, I think that's it. I know a good few channels like 58MW and whatnot that also are really good at rendering, and I feel like I've learned a lot from just watching them do their thing. So yeah, Yeej Chan was also a really big factor. They also make really good speed paint tutorial rendering thingies, so I definitely recommend giving them a watch too. I think also a way to get good at rendering is just to experiment and try out what works for you. You could try out sketching first and then rendering over the sketch, and then you could also try sketching, then line art, and then rendering with the line art. Or you could just block in the shapes like I've seen a lot of people do. Just do whatever works for you and make it work. So recently I've just been like drawing whatever the hell I want because it's fun. I drew Ray, then Yoru from Chainsaw Man like twice, and then Miku in Tato Feet. Anyway, thanks for watching and thanks for supporting. Please subscribe.